Oh, we got some stickers here of some sort. This is not a modified LRP. It's a bone stock. But it's the new LRP. It's the what they call X series. Now, let's take this motor out. You gotta give LRP credit. Alright? You gotta give credit when credit is due, man. There's no one else, no other big companies have the balls to come out with a next level, big block nitro engine that's race inspired. Most of the time, race engines have to run certain races. Those engines got to run for 45 minutes. All right? You're not going to see E-words do that. All right? So anyway, nitro engines have to run certain races. Sometimes there are races that you got to run for 45 minutes straight. Sometimes even 50. But some races, 45 minutes straight, you can't afford to have an engine to stall that runs like crap. It's got to be on point and take abuse. All right? And most of the time, guys are running so little oil at the racetracks. And these nitro engines are revving high constantly, and do not shut off. So what I'm trying to say is, most race nitro engines have to take abuse, have to stay running, and have to run great. All right? So, why do race engines run great? Most of the time, it's because they have no damn one-way bearing pull start crap type engines. Right? They have a better automatically, they're gonna rev higher no matter what, because you get more RPMs out of an engine that doesn't have to push a one-way bearing around. All right. So anyway, and they're gonna run better because it's sealed. But anyway, carburetor. It's got to be a good carburetor. All right. The engine can get hot, but the carburetor you don't want to get hot because then your fuel gets hot, and that will affect the way it runs, and it will affect how the power is. All right. So you want an insulated carburetor. All right. Then you want a race type carburetor that has Venturis. All right. All race engines have Venturis on the carburetor, so you can change the gap on them. I will show you once we get into this box here. All right. I've shown you guys this in the past with many other nitro engines I have. All right. So, but you got to give LRP credit because I've asked Pico, all right, I've spoken to Rick at RB Mods to talk to Pico to come out with a high quality 30 or 32 race inspired motor. Just recently, I've spoken to Adam Drake to please talk to OS since Novorossi hasn't done it, because I used to speak to Adam Drake when he was with Novorossi for a while. All right. Yes, the Novorossi 28.8 is a great engine. All right, for guys that want to bash.
Best one.
You can get them with backplates. You know, it's race inspired and everything. 28.8, it's got great power and everything, and reliability, and runs great. But and you can mod them. People that mod them love them because it's high quality. They can take a beating.
Obviously.
And you can take it up a notch with RPMs and power with the Novorossi. Because it's a good quality engine. All right. Neil, guys like Neil, TNS, guys like Rick from RB Mods, they figured out a way to mod the 32. Not too crazy, but just enough to stay running and last a bit. And it's all up to the person how they want to take care of it. If they want to blow it up, blow it up. If they want to run it, run it. I have a modified 32 in it for over a year now, and I beat the hell out of it, and it's lasted. And that thing is a monster, right? Now, that 32 that I have, I had to customize an Novorossi carburetor because I hated the LRP carburetors. I hate it, except for the race engine 21 that they have. All right, LRP has a great race .21 engine, all right, that they use for real race tracks and real racers. Why they didn't put that towards the big block toys for the bashers, I don't have no idea. They do have a .30X, but the new .30X is better because it comes with a better carburetor with the Venturis. So what I would do, guys like us, that we would do, is grab those X-Tech carburetors, throw them out, and install Novorossi carburetors. I have a video that shows everything. I even show how to customize one. Right, it's an over OC carburetor. This carburetor, you can get them with the 28/8 as the part number. But I think...
Well, I wonder if John wants to retract a lot of that information now. Knowing what he knows now. He probably wish he never did that video. Because, as you guys know, or don't know, they never changed the carburetor. Still the same piece of shit X-Tech that it's always been. They did put a backplate on it, which is, if you look at the backplate, it's not even really a good backplate. It still looks like it's the backplate. It would be a backplate that would be on there. I mean, you could still run the same crank in there. I mean, look at the way it's cut out. Like as if they didn't want to change the crank. You know, so I mean, they also made it to where the porting was shitty. You guys seen the porting on it. The porting was crap. Okay? Or if you haven't, go look at it. And I remember in my last video I mentioned that Rick at RB Mods was telling me that I think I said 2 out of every motors had problems. Lrp.32s that he mods. Well, it was the opposite. It's 2 out of 10 of them are good. So that means 90% of the LRP motors that are still being distributed, produced, I don't think they're making them. They might, who knows, maybe they are still making them. From what Rick was saying, they're still made in Taiwan. So they're a cheap Taiwan motor. And 90% of them, the porting on it's shit. The plug sits too far down in the burn chamber. You know, that's another thing. You know, they never, it's never going to come with a turbo head. So, what am I saying? I'm saying that the LRP, it's you know, it's up to you. If you want to spend the almost $400, because that's what it will cost you, $200 for the motor. Let's just say $70 for the carburetor, $125 to mod it, so you do the math. If you didn't want to mod it, and you want to keep it stock, well, you take your chances of that shitty porting chipping off into your motor and destroying your motor. So, for the most part, an Lrp.32 is something that you almost have to mod. Or, like I said, take a chance and gamble, and hopefully it doesn't blow up on you. But anyway, so nothing really changed, you know, and I think this is a perfect example of Mr. Za, you know, and I always give credit due where credit's due, just like, you know, I learned from him. But I also give criticism due where criticism due. I'm not afraid to you know, keep it real, even, you know, I defend him all the time because he is one of my, you know, I don't want to say I don't know if he really mentored me. He just gave me a lot of tips and information. He never steered me wrong. You know, and he's like that with everybody. I was nobody special, and I'm still nobody special. I'm just some knucklehead with a, you know, camera phone. I don't even got a professional head cam or no GoPro or nothing. But anyway, he was somebody that I learned a lot from. You know, but I will be the first one to, you know, criticize John when need be. And I think on that video, he should have done his homework. He should have actually ran it and modded it or whatever he was going to do with it, and then made a video and said, hey, this is what I found out. You know, the carburetor's shit. I thought they might, you know, because if you look at that video, and he's never retracted that video, that doesn't, I'm not going to say it makes him look like an idiot, but it doesn't make him look too good. Let's put it that way. It was very foolish of a lot of the things he said because he just assumed, oh, they're going to put it, you know, and you watch the video. You guys can go watch it. He sold the hell out of the Lrp.32. Oh, credit due where credit's due. I don't give LRP any credit. They didn't do nothing but put a couple Band-Aids on a motor that's been problematic from the beginning. Yeah, granted, John had one and has a couple of friends of his that had them modded by TNS, and they weren't even the Spec 4s. I mean, a couple of them were, but, you know, those are exceptions to the rule. You know, the rule of the LRP is it's just not a good quality motor, and it's not me saying that. Okay, I am saying that because of experience. And for the record, I never stripped out nothing on my crank. That crank busted the freaking set screw on the end when I was running it last. Busted off the pinion busted off. That screw busted off. Wasn't my meshing or nothing. Just busted off inside of the crank. So I have, I drilled it out. Now I got to tap it. I haven't tapped it yet because the tap sets I have, the tapping on this is real small. I almost don't even want to mess with it because Lamp said he can go ahead and try to find me another one, and all he would do is just mod it again because it has a crank fill. It's got mod work done to it, but. Or I can look for the tap and just tap it myself. I mean, that's the only thing. I'm just not in a hurry to do it. This motor, even when I had it running, dialed, and tuned, it just doesn't impress me. It doesn't have a lot. I don't, compared to the feel of the 28.8, Lrp.32 doesn't impress me. I'm more impressed by this old school P3 Pico .28 that's modded by RB Mods. This thing's a badass. I'm still, I've found a couple of them. So, I mean, they're a little bit older. I want to find one just like this. The only difference between these ones and the old ones, it just does, the older ones don't have these graphics on. I believe it's the same exact motor. Back sealed. Obviously, it's a non-turbo head. Doesn't come with a plug when you get them. But I don't care. As long as it's a .28 Pico P3, and these are 7 ports. I want to grab one and send it to Lance and get it modded. I already have this one modded by Rick, and this thing is nasty. Now, somebody also said, hey, at one time, that a Techno doesn't, you can't get power to the ground as far as modded power to the ground like you can on a low C 4.0. Well, I beg to differ because I have proof. This was a few months back. Thing that sounds nasty. Looks like it's hooking up. Oh, this is where the dog, there's a dog, you can't see him, he's off camera, he chases my Techno. Watch, you hear him bark. He was right over here on the side of this boxer. He didn't want none of the Techno though. Oh shit, that looks like it hooked up to me. Any questions? Shouldn't be. So anyway, This thing hooks up, man. I'm gonna run it again. It wasn't even tuned, dialed in. It had like maybe a gallon through it. The motor was still fresh. It's got like over 2 gallons through it now. This thing's nuts have dropped. You guys seen it run the last time. I only ran it with my street tires out in front of the pad, but man, these things are so smooth. I love my Techno. Money all day long. But this is the motor that's gonna stay in there. You know, I love this thing though too. I almost want to get my cousin to rock one of these and have a drag race. The Mugen and RCR modded Rex 28.8 versus the Techno and the Pico modded by RB Mods P3.28. Sick motor. I love both. I love that motor, man. That's why I'm trying to get me another one. Hopefully I can scoop up a couple more of these and get them modded, definitely. Too bad I don't know why they stopped making this motor, man. This motor's a badass. So anyway, obviously this shit hooks up, and it's not, I think people seem to forget. It's not, sure, these motors are modded, they produce plenty of power. You gotta remember, you need to set up the clutch right, springs, diff fluid. I mean, there's a lot to getting your motor to do what I've been able to make it do. Now, I'm saying, oh, well, it is a lot of me. You don't just put a modified motor and drop in anything and it's going to pull the front end off the ground. That shit ain't happening. You might get lucky, but, you gotta, it's all on how you prep your whip and how you set it up. It's your setup. I've got enough experience and done it long enough now to know how I need to set these things up to do what they do. So I love my truggies, man. Don't get me wrong, I love my buggy. And this one we're going to roll next. We're going to rock the RB modded 28.8 Rex Legend and the Mugen MBX 5 Prospect. Oh, by the way, my condolences to the Woogie man. Man, that sucks that happened. I've never seen it happen. I've seen 2 things in my Nitro career that I'm not happy to say or to say that I've seen them, but I have seen them. And I didn't even think I would ever see them because I've never seen them in my whole 35 years in RC. I've never, in 10 years in Nitro, I've never seen anybody, and Woogie's the first, blow a plug out, pop a plug out, or whatever happened. I've never seen that happen. And the other one is, and I hate to bring this up, and he knows he's my boy, he's my amigo, he's my boy. Matter of fact, I think he's going to be sending his body whenever, soon, hopefully, because otherwise, once I start on some other projects, then first come, first serve. So anyway, Audrey Perez, only person I've ever seen on video blow up a 28.8 Rex Legend. That shit was crazy. So, my condolences to both of those guys, and I told them in the past, that sucks when that happens, I'm not going to say, better them than me, because I don't wish anything as much, even if it was somebody that I really didn't care for, which these guys are my Nitro brothers, I wouldn't even wish that on anybody. To either ruin a motor or, it sucks, man. I blew one motor up, man. That was my first motor, that XTM motor, and that was it. I learned my lesson. I took it a lot more serious. I'm not running my shit lean. I'm not jumping my shit off the Empire State Building anytime soon. I don't spend all this money and work my ass off and invest in all this to break my shit. Now, if those guys like to do that, to each his own. Whatever floats your boat. If you like running your shit, off the building and you can afford to replace parts, no problem, then go for it. I don't. I value all my shit. Sure, is it fun? Sure, it's good for camera, makes good video, but behind the scenes, when shit breaks and shit like that happens, that shit ain't cool. That's why some people quit in this hobby. So anyway, my condolences to those two. Woogie, like I told you, I think already, if you want one of those bodies, it's a Phantom, Proline Phantom, MBX7 buggy body. Okay, you do have to do a little bit of altering, but it does fit. So anyway, I want to give a big shout out. Now this person deserves a shout out probably every video, and if any of you guys, I'm sure most of you guys have them. If you don't, my condolences again. But this person is like #1 shout out, and I should be shouting out every time. I mean, this person is a true badass. Okay? Now we talk about, people, hey, certain people we give shout outs, you're a badass, blah, blah, blah. We always say that, right? Well, I don't say that, but some people do. This person is badass. Like, this person is a badderasser. Remember, that's a Muggy's word, I made it up. Badderasser. Okay? Shout out to my mother, the Muggy's mom. This lady, if it wasn't for her, obviously I wouldn't be here. But this lady, my mom and me are very, very close. I love her so much. I told her she's not allowed to go anywhere. I gotta go first. She needs to stay back. I'm just kidding. Anyway, there's my beautiful, lovely mother with my stepdad. My stepdad, which is, Colonel Sanders Jr. over here. But anyway, I love my mother. She comes and visits me. We go to see the Joker. By the way, if you guys want to know about the Joker, great movie. A little bit slow at the beginning, but just hang in there, and it starts to pick up, and it's pretty violent. So don't take your kids to go see it. It's not a kids movie. It's very violent, but if you like violence or whatever, you'll like it. It's a good movie. It's kind of crazy because I told my mom about this body that I did. She's like, "Oh, that sounds cool." My Joker body. How fitting, right? Being that the Joker's out now. But anyway, we went and seen that. And because I spent time this weekend with my family, I had to find time to work on, the new techno. And I'm like, okay, well, when am I going to find time to work on the techno? I'm going to be spending all weekend pretty much with my family. My mom yesterday, my aunt, today. So I got up yesterday before my mom came. I think she came around 8:30. I got up at like 4 in the morning. I got up pretty early. So I can get some wrenching done. Then today, I got up at, let's see, my aunt came over around 9. I got up I think I got up at the same time. About 4 or 5. I got up pretty damn early. So I can put in some more hours of wrenching. And able to put in those hours of wrenching, I got some shit done. But anyway, like I said, shout out to my mom. She comes and she says, I know you love to cook, son, and here I was thinking of you, and check this out. Is that sick or what? It's not like Chicago cutlery or Henkel or anything like that, but 5-piece stainless steel. Cuisinart, they're pretty good, man. I like them, man. They're pretty badass. I can't wait to bust these suckers out. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's a mother that loves her son, man. So shout out to my mother, man. Also, we went to, she wanted to get something at, where they sell women's perfume and stuff like that. And they don't have that much men's stuff. It's a makeup place. My daughters love the place. They own stocks in it. But anyway, my mom got some perfume, and she's like, I'm like, just kidding. Hey, Mom, what about me? I don't get any cologne? Because I knew they carried cologne there. It's just expensive. She's all, well, you want some too? I'll get you. And I'm like, I'm just kidding, Mom. She's like, no, go see what you like. And I'm like, what? So Mom hooks it up. Bam! What is that? For those of you that even know what this is Calvin Klein Euphoria, people. For any of you guys that like some smell goods, I like to smell good. I'm a gearhead, and I like to wrench and get sweaty and dirty, but hell, man. Especially when you're going out on a hot date, or the girl's coming by. There you go, man. Bam! Stuff was $100, man. I told my mom, are you sure? She goes, isn't that the kind the girls get you? Because my daughters usually get it for me. Oh, they haven't been able to afford it lately because, they're starving college students. But anyway, my mom, I was like, yeah. I said, but, it's $100, Mom. I don't want you to... She said, oh, no, if you want it, get it. Just be one of your early Christmas presents. I'm like, cool. So the mom hooked it up. So shout out to the Muggy's mom. She's a true badass. Okay, so anyway, where are we at? Yeah, so I mean the LRP32, Muggy's trying to, you know how I am, I'm real random. The LRP32, shitty carburetor, shitty, I mean, I don't recommend it to anybody. I don't recommend it to a newbie. And, you know, some people might not like the fact that I'm, like, beating up LRP.32s. They're a good motor if you want to spend that kind of money. They're not good quality. That's definite. I mean, that's just straight up poor quality. You got to do a lot of work to it to get it to where where it is a badass. So it means you got to spend more money. But if you just want to spend $200 on a quality motor that's going to last you for a long time, that you don't have to mess with too much, then you want one of these badasses. And if you get it modded, even better. So bone stock, highly recommend 28.8 Rex Legend. Modified, I recommend even more. If you never ran, I'm telling you, man. So you guys that have been around, you know, and you know, you've got a year under your belt, Nitro, you know, you're getting pretty decent at tuning. Get a modded motor, man. Trust me, when you run a modded, and preferably a 28.8 Rex Legend, modded the right way, man, you won't even touch 21s anymore. You won't even mess with pea shooters unless they're modded. You'll look at your stock motors and you'll be like, you'll laugh. Telling you, man. You don't know. And for the record, for the bones and you know, whatever you can get that's affordable. Okay? Hopefully Byron's drops down a little bit on their shipping and you know, but hey, I pay $32 $35 or whatever, under less than $40 a gallon. I'm getting it all day long. You know, and I know, like I said, if you can't get Byrons or it's way priced for you, then you have to find an alternative. I understand. But the fact that, you know, all this Byrons is better than Bones and Bones, hey, all I know is until Brent, or whatever his name is, the owner of Bones, comes out with video, proof on video showing him running Byrons and Bones in something with 8 to 10 gallons and beating the shit out of it and running it through dirt and flipping it off a root and everything with Bones, or somebody does, 10 gallons from now, and then can show me that that motor is still a good quality, then maybe I'll consider it. If I can't get Byrons. As long as I can get Byrons, Bones, whatever. Bones schmones. If you love Bones, whatever. Teach his own. It's personal preference. If you can't get Byrons and it's too much for you, whatever, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I get it. But as far as the whole who's better or whatever, like I said, until Brent or the owner of Bones can do what John did, Bodejo, with his Bones, I don't care what he says. So, it means nothing to me or anybody running Byrons, those of us that know. So anyway, I don't want to get out of that. That's a whole, you know, like I said, it's all he said, she said stuff. So, shimming, clutching, shimming, head shimming, modified. Listen, I've got experience in modded motors, stock motors, head shimming. I've done it all in the last almost 6 years now. Okay? So, if you guys don't know what you're doing in head shimming, don't even go there, because you're gonna ruin your motor. Okay? Just leave it alone. Is shimming your head make your motor, can you shim your head and make it to outperform or be more powerful than a modded motor? No way in hell. Absolutely not. That's coming from Rick, that's coming from Lance, that's coming from Mr. Za, it's coming from me, it's coming from guys that have experience in it. No, it doesn't. So, quite to the contrary, you believe what you want to believe. Again, to each his own. Okay? Whatever floats your boat. Okay? Go do your homework. Go do your studying. Okay? Because even if you did want to make that argument, which I'm sure people do, that means if I mod my motor and head shim it, then what? Then I really spank your ass. So you can head shim all you want. And even if, let's say it did, and I know it doesn't, let's say it did make it more powerful than a modded motor. Well, then all I had to do with my modded motor is shim it. Then I win. So now what? So anyway, that's my take on it. I've shimmed motors, been shimming them, learned how to shim. And like I said, I don't recommend it unless you know what you're doing. Just like I never recommend anybody doing their own engine mods, ever. Do your homework, do your research, do your studying, get all the facts together, network, talk to people with more experience in whatever it is you're trying to do or learn than you do. Then, like you've heard before, then put it out there. But until then, zip it. Don't say anything unless you have experience in it. Because otherwise you just make yourself look like an idiot. Okay? So, word to the wise. Anyway, we will do that test. You know, Woogie wants to do the test, but 4 or 5 gallons, that's not enough. I've opened this motor when Raja did the first run on his bones because somebody wanted to see what it looked like. The same time Raja, go back look at some of my videos, I forgot which one it is. When Raja did the comparison, or he wanted to see what the bones fuel looked like after, like, I think it was 3 gallons, the same as this. This thing has over 3 gallons to it. It's probably got close to 4 now. 3 gallons of this. I took it apart after he did the video. It looked just as clean as his. Okay? So anyway, me and Woogie will do that if he wants to, but I told them when we run 10 gallons. So maybe sometime January, February next year, whenever it is, when I got 10 gallons through something, and probably will be my RB modded. Either this one, okay, the P3, or it'll be the Nova. We'll probably do a Nova Rossi because that's probably, Woogie doesn't have one of these to compare to, so, and he doesn't have a red, so I guess the only other motors I know he has is the Rexes. So anyway, we'll do that and do whatever, but you know, I'm not worried about that right now. So anyway, let's see where the Muggy is, and you want to see how OCD is the Muggy? Okay, you guys already know, but here, let me show you. Now, before I show you that, look at what this is a sample. This is what the whole freaking vehicle looked like. Pretty much. Look at that. Talk about corrosion and rust buildup. And I mean, the guy ran probably, I know that P5 has 7 tanks through it, he told me. That's got nothing. It's still new. It's not even broken in. So he must have ran all 7 tanks in like heavy dirt, powdered dirt or whatever. And then never cleaned it. Look at that. Look at that nastiness. That's what pretty much this whole whip looked like. Just like that. Filthy as hell. Well, let's see what it looks like now, people. Oh, shit. What is that? A pipe sticking out in the back? What is that? That looks like a 41021. Oh, then what kind of pipe's on it then? You ready? Oh, snow! Bam! Look at that. Oh, snaps. Dang, Muggy. That shit looks brand new. Before. After. Look at that. 9901. That's combo I'm running on that thing. That's what she looks like. Fresh and new. What's that song? Oh, so fresh and so clean. So fresh and so bling bling. These shocks, man, they had like, I don't know what oil he had. Like 5 weight. Nothing. We got 45 in the front, 50 in the rear. That's what I run on my buggies and truggies. Change the springs. I think these are like a medium spring. I forgot, this is the yellow, the color on them. But look at her, she's looking fresh. Look at that. Bam. Got the Protec 100T in the front, 100S in the back. A couple little added things. Carbon fiber on here because I don't know if I'm going to, there's not going to be nothing mounted up to there, so got the little dummy plug in there because, you know, the Muggy don't run no switches. We just pop this sucker off, plug directly into the receiver. It already came with a, I don't know if it's a LiPo or a Life battery, I can't remember. This I did myself, custom, because this is the Techno logo. The guy had it before, it had stickers. I don't know, you guys have seen it before, it had stickers all over it and everything. This is got, I just kind of did a hand paint on this. The Techno logo. I think I can clean it up and I think I'm going to do another coat on it. But anyway, she's looking, she's getting there. All we got is the rear clip left. We got one 25K in the middle. And then we got 60 in the front, and we're going to put 60 in the rear. So anyway, that's where we're at, people. She is looking fresh. Can't wait to get her together. And give her a whip. See what she's got. Alright, people. Well, that's it. I don't want to take up too much time. It's getting late. I gotta get ready for night time. So, like I said, we're gonna run this thing next. Sorry I couldn't get you guys any footage this weekend, and obviously Woogie probably wished he could have gave you a little bit more. So hopefully he figures out what happened. I've never seen that happen. But anyway, I know he's probably going to contact me and ask me questions and stuff. So I already told him what I would do. But anyway, that's all I got. Again, shout out to a person that really needs a shout out every video. My mother. I love my mother to death. So shout out to my mom. She is a true badass. So anyway, that's all the Muggies got. You know, all you guys out there doing whatever you're doing, you know, just keep it real. Just remember, whatever happens, at the end of the day, even if you didn't get the results, and this goes for you, Woogie, even though you didn't get the results that you were looking for, obviously, no matter how jacked up your day might have been, at the end of the day, at least if you can look and yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you gave 100%, you did everything you could, okay, even though you didn't get the results that you were looking to get. And more importantly, you learned something today. Hey, you got ahead. That's all that matters. So do whatever makes you feel happy, whatever floats your boat, whatever your personal preference is. It's your channel, your money, your whip, your fuel, whatever. Do whatever makes you smile. And don't worry about me, other people out there. Hey, this is just what works for us. This is what works for me. Anyway, so that's all I got. Make sure if you're not running your shit, set your piston bottom dead center. Alright, people. Muggies out. Peace.